I am starting a Pokemon business in 2025, and I think there are some ways I'm going to be standing out. There are a ton of channels on YouTube with the exact same title as this video. But what am I thinking? Am I just hopping onto this Pokemon bandwagon? Is it going to burst as soon as I start? Am I too late? Now, trust me when I say I have asked myself all of these questions and more. So the big question is, how am I going to stand out? Now, while I still have your attention, the short answer is going to be Korean Pokemon cards. So check out my website at KoreTalks.com. But if you still want to watch and you have some minutes to spare, or you're just using this video as background noise as you do some work around the house, let me just go ahead and introduce myself a bit first. My name is Kevin, this is my channel. This is my little sapling of a business, PokeCoreTCG. I've made some videos already, some of you may know, so if you're one of the few, thank you so much for watching. But I really felt like this channel kind of needed a proper introduction video. So I just wanted to talk about sort of my mindset on this channel, why I started, and all of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you the long answer to the question of how I am going to stand out. We'll touch on three main points today that sort of summarizes my thoughts and motivations. The first one is going to be the crazy Pokemon market. Second one is an influx of new collectors, and my third point is going to be my self-worth, and that gets a little bit more personal. So at this point of the video, if I am looking down, it is because I am looking at my notes. I just kind of have some stuff written here, and I'm just kind of gonna go off the top of my head. So if you do see me looking down, I do apologize not for making eye contact with the camera. Yeah, so the crazy Pokemon market. But yeah, there's nothing really I can add to the state of the hobby. We've all seen the Blooming Waters fights happening at Costco's. We've seen the prismatic evolutions, bum rushing of the trading card section, right? It's kind of crazy. There are a lot of people wanting to casually rip packs and have fun, but they're just not able to get a hold of product. New sets are impossible to get. I have some PC ETBs behind me that I had fun collecting. I knew I could always get them just because they were pretty easy to order on PokemonCenter.com. But I missed out on Journey Together. It's just the reality of it. It sold out, I don't know how quick. Website crashed. They thought normal people were bots and they were just making you go through all these hoops to try and get it into your cart, and even then it just, yeah, sold out. The website crashed. It went crazy. Like, you have to be sub to like 17 different like Twitter, Discord, Facebook groups to stay on top of like the most recent restocks. I'm not exactly knowledgeable enough to speak on why things are the way they are, like what's to blame and what the solution even is. There are a bunch of YouTubers that can probably better explain the whole situation, but what I do know is how I feel about the hobby. Now, I'm someone who loves ripping packs. If I pulled $10 worth of cards from a $55 ETB that I bought from Target, that was fine for me. My wife and I just genuinely enjoyed the experience of opening the packs. And we have a binder that we've built together. She has hers, I have mine, but they're all from cards that we've pretty much pulled together. Now, of course, we've gone out and bought singles here and there, or if we're at a local card show, you know, the opportunity presents itself. Of course, we'll buy some singles, but for the most part, we would just have fun buying the newest ETBs. We would buy the newest like Pokemon products, like those EX boxes. We enjoyed getting promos and like all the small goodies that come in these products, but now it's like impossible to find. So how does all of this lead to me starting a Pokemon card business? My problem in this hobby was clear. I want to open more packs for cheaper, but I can't find products for a cheap enough price. Everything is too expensive. So the solution I found was Korean booster boxes. Again, I hear you saying, Kevin, haven't you heard of Japanese Pokemon cards? In which I would reply, have you seen the prices on the most recent Japanese sets? They are also kind of crazy now. yeah, Korean booster boxes really do offer the best dollar to pack ratio in my opinion. I talked about it a bit in my previous videos, but I thought I'd kind of go into more the bigger picture of why I think so. Um, yeah, and so my next point on this whole thing is talking about the influx of new collectors. I don't think my business's target demographic is going to be long-time collectors. It isn't my goal to reach the people with all the chase cards in PSA 10 dating back to base set, right? I'm not trying to reach the people with vintage sealed collections that are worth like tens of thousands of dollars. That's not who I'm trying to reach. I think my aim is to offer a super fun, affordable pack opening experience to newer collectors. I myself am a newer collector relative to the Pokemon card hobby as a whole. I remember feeling a lot of envy not being around the hobby during the previous eras. I never got to open Evolving Skies, for example, and there's no way I'm opening Evolving Skies now, right, in 2025. That would be insane. But Black Friday 2024, I was on eBay and I saw a listing for Korean EV Heroes. Now, if you're familiar with EV Heroes, it's one half of Evolving Skies, the evolution side of Evolving Skies. And I found them for $40 a box. So I got 3 boxes and I ended up pulling 2 Evolution All Arts. I was hooked. I just pulled some pretty big chases from just 3 boxes. And all that for just $120. Now, $120 is an Obsidian Flames booster box. The fact that I have a chance of pulling these chases myself, yeah, that's just something that kind of blew my mind. I didn't know that was possible especially for a set as old as EV Heroes. And so after doing some research on Korean cards and just how underrated and I think underexplored they are, I was all in. I genuinely believe that in this market, the best way for newer collectors or anyone wanting to rip packs at a higher volume, Korean Pokemon cards is the way to go. So much so that I'm actually starting a business where I'm investing so much time and some money into making this a thing. Now, on to my last point, which is self-worth, which is a little bit more the personal side of things, but I wanted to start this business for myself. I'm 32 and I have struggled a good amount with finding purpose and joy in my work. And I know I'm not alone in this. I know a lot of us go through this, and I applaud those of you that are able to grind through it because I know how hard it can be. But I needed something for myself, something to call my own. Now, obviously, having just started out, this is nowhere near enough to provide for myself. But building something to call my own has been one of the most fulfilling things I've experienced. And even in this short amount of time, it's just been so rewarding. Each and every view or interaction or new subscription that I get, yeah, it feels like a little bit of progress towards this big goal that I have. And speaking on goals, I do want to talk about some goals on this channel as well while I still have your attention, if I have your attention. There are some goals that I do want for this channel. So what are my goals for this channel? I have 3 things, again, that I want to talk about, which is going to be education, it's going to be building a market for Korean Pokemon cards, and the last one is building this business to something that I can do full-time. And now I can go through these pretty quickly, so if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Again, if you enjoyed this video, please like, drop a subscription, anything like that. It really does yeah, encourage me to keep this channel going. But yeah, let's go into the goals. So when I talk about education, I am talking about bringing more exposure to Korean Pokemon cards. I want to show the differences, what you might want to look for when looking for genuine products, and just bringing more Korean card familiarity to the YouTube scene. There's definitely channels out there that do a good job of this, but I just kind of want to explore it a little bit more deeply and really just focus on it as for my whole channel. The second one is going to be building the market. One of my big goals is to bring Korean cards to local card shows. And I think that's going to be a really good way to interact with the Pokemon community in person and also show the cards in person, because I think seeing the cards in person and versus in video is very different. Because when you do see the cards in person, it really does blow your mind how good these Korean cards really are. So that's also one of my big goals, is to kind of build the market for Korean cards in my local community, that maybe I can make some trades with Korean cards to English so that people can kind of get it into their hands. And if they're not buying from my shop, I'm actually okay with that. I think the more people that get into Pokemon cards, regardless of if it's from my store or not, I think it just builds the Korean market here in the US as a whole, and that's just good for everyone. And lastly, is building the business, which is where I say I do want you to buy from my store, PokeCoreTCG.com. Yeah, I'm not trying to be mega rich by doing this or anything like that. Of course, I'll take any success that comes my way, but really I just want to be able to support myself with this business. But with all this being said, I know it's been a long video of you just listening to me talk. So again, thank you so much for your time and your attention. And yeah, subscribe if you want to follow the journey of this small little business and Korean Pokemon cards as a whole. I do plan on releasing a little bit more of these talking videos to give you a little bit more insight into what I'm thinking and how the business is going, and then also just my thoughts on the hobby as a whole and how it relates to Korean Pokemon cards. And so if that's something that might interest you, please consider subscribing to this channel, and yeah, join me on all my socials and you can kind of follow along. Yeah, and because I don't want to do too many more takes of this little outro, I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.